Hello there, fellow collectors. Over the last week, there's been a lot going on with YouTube, the FTC, and COPPA. Just to be absolutely clear, this channel is geared towards other adult collectors. Now, the reason I say that so explicitly is because last week, the YouTube Creators channel put out a video explaining how the platform is going to move forward in the future. In compliance with the Child Online Privacy Protection Act, otherwise known as COPPA, YouTube is now forcing creators to mark their videos and or channels as either for kids or not for kids. COPPA has been around for a while, but it's now being reinforced, and YouTube recently took a $170 million fine because of it. Back when COPPA was first created, its original intent was to help prevent children from giving out their full name, home address, things of that nature that would make them findable to predators. Later on, it was amended to also include tracking cookies because those in turn could eventually lead to a home address and things of that nature. Now, the reason that's important to YouTube is because they use those kinds of tracking cookies in their targeted ad system. When you watch a video, it sees what kind of content that is, and it uses that information to determine what type of ads might be more interesting to you so that you'll see something that you might actually click on. Like, if you watch my channel and any other action figure reviewers, you probably see the ad for Big Bad Toy Store in their stop motion action figure videos a lot. If you watch movie trailers, you probably see more movie trailers. Now, what COPPA is supposed to do is prevent that kind of technology being used on kids, which they define kids as a person below the age of 13. And that is one big reason why you're supposed to be 13 years of age or older to sign up for YouTube. Unfortunately, YouTube outed themselves as being a great place to find content for kids 12 and under. When this came to the FTC's attention, they decided to take action, leading to that $107 million fine. And now, YouTube is passing any further burden onto the individual creators, leaving it up to us to define whether our content is made for kids or not. The quickest way to do this is to set it at the channel level so that it marks all videos at the same time. However, if the content creator believes they have a mix of both made for kids and not made for kids, they'll have to go through and mark that decision for each individual video. The FTC and YouTube have put together a list of factors to consider when deciding which way to mark our videos. However, there are some broad and vague terms in this list of factors. The main line that has creators such as myself somewhat concerned is the one where it says, if it includes characters, celebrities, or toys that appeal to children. Starting on December 10th, and definitely by January 2020, if a video is marked as made for kids, either by the creator or YouTube themselves, there will be restrictions applied. Those videos will lose comments, personalized ads, info cards, and end screens. If an entire channel is marked as made for kids, they'll lose stories, the community tab, the notification bell, and the ability to use playlist. These restrictions are believed to cause a 60 to 90% drop in ad revenue and effectively kill any chance that channel may have to be profitable or sustainable. YouTube states that in most cases they will rely on the creator's settings, but they will have their algorithm make the changes they see fit as it finds each channel. They've already started an algorithm sweep of some channels that do talk about toys, and some of them have been hit with being made for kids. Unfortunately, that wasn't necessarily their original intention, as they were also focused on adult collectors like I am, but because it was Ninja Turtles and Power Rangers, they're being hit with the made for kids tag. One channel that I follow, MMPR Toys, has already shown this to be the case. Many of his recent videos have already been marked as made for kids by YouTube. If he is unable to appeal this by the time we get to January, it would be devastating for his channel. Some gaming channels who do like Mario and Luigi and Pokemon are being hit the same way. And for the sake of absolute clarity, there are adults who indulge in those kinds of things. On this channel, I do cover Power Rangers. According to my analytics, Power Rangers holds many spots in the top 10 highest search keywords for my channel. Hasbro does make 2 separate lines of Power Rangers action figures. The basic line for kids, which I don't cover on this channel. I'm going to need that back in a minute. But then, there's also the Lightning Collection, which is geared towards adults. These are both the exact same character. Yes, this one could appeal to kids, but Hasbro themselves will tell you that the Lightning Collection is geared towards the adult collector. The same thing is said about Marvel Legends, both kids and adults alike. And then you got brands like Mezco, who do Spider-Man figures. That doesn't make them kids only. Just because it's Spider-Man doesn't make it targeted to kids. Even DC with Superman and Batman. There's a lot of adult-directed content, even in animation form, that's PG-13 or even R-rated. Some of Mattel's previous DC lines would show adult collectors in the top left corner of the box. Guys like myself grew up with the kids' toys like the one on the left here, but now we have the adult collector versions of the same characters, almost the same figure, but higher quality, better detailed, more articulation, those sorts of things. Superman and those sorts of characters are appreciated by people of all ages. As a child of the 80s, many of the toys I played with back when I was a kid now have upgraded versions for the adult collector. Some collectors only want the old ones, other collectors only want the new ones, some keep both. Like with Kit, the one on the left here is my original from the 1980s. The one on the right is from this decade. In the comparison image, I wanted to show that the scanner works, but it wouldn't show it with my lighting on. So here's on my lighting off, just on the natural room light, and you can see the scanner moving. That's one of the reasons why I bought the new version. When it comes to wrestling figures, kids are mostly getting the $10 basic figures. They're not getting these $20 and $30 figures like the Shinsuke here that comes all apart so that you can take him in and out of his entrance attire. The recent McFarlane Mortal Kombat figures are marked as 14+. So are the NECA Ninja Turtles. Storm Collectibles marks their Mortal Kombat figures as being 17+. So when I do the Injustice figure reviews next year, I don't intend for those to be kid targeted either. So no, just because you have those types of characters in a video, it doesn't mean it's targeted at kids. But I have always tried to keep my videos clean so that if a parent wanted to share my videos with their kid, they could. My friend Megan has a son who's younger than the age of 13. She watches my videos with him all the time. But that's okay because it's tracking her account, not him. Some of my other viewers have mentioned doing the same thing with their kids. That's how it's supposed to happen. In most cases, kids aren't the ones who are wanting to hunt down the newest store exclusive. They're not the ones who want to hear about the technical aspects of the figure. They're definitely not the ones buying the higher end brands like Storm Collectibles and Mezco. And they shouldn't be buying the Mortal Kombat figures because they're not even supposed to be playing that game. However, I have been playing the Mortal Kombat game since I was 10, but that's not the point. The point is, my channel is meant for the adult collectors and not for a kid under the age of 12 sitting here by himself to be watching. Therefore, if you're under the age of 13 and you don't have parent consent, don't watch my channel. You'll get me and other creators like me in trouble with the FTC, with YouTube, and all that mess. The FTC has stated that they intend to fine individual channels up to $42,000 per video if they find them in violation of the COPPA law. However, when you look further into the details of that statement, it's been heavily misconstrued and blown way out of proportion. It's not $42,000 for every single video they find to be in violation. So if they look at one of my Power Rangers videos and say, well, Power Rangers is only for kids, therefore, bam, you should watch it made for kids, they're not going to hit me with a $42,000 fine because I'm not making any money. The reason for that is that their fines would be something like 20% of the ad revenue you've made up to the $42,000 mark. I'm not monetized. I'm only about 30% of the way to being monetized. So I haven't made any ad revenue, therefore there couldn't be a fine attached to my videos. Now YouTube could decide to shut my videos down or delete my entire channel. But I do think that's the more extreme measures. I don't really see that happening very much. Another thing that has been misconstrued is the idea that they could delete channels that are not commercially viable. Well, a lot of people thought that meant, well, if my channel's not making money, they'll just delete me. That's not what that means either. They're referring to channels that wouldn't have the potential to make money or is violating some sort of law anyway. Like if you're taking porn videos or something like that that's not supposed to be on YouTube anyway and uploading it to your channel, or you're breaking all the copyright laws by uploading movies or TV shows that's not yours, then you get deleted. They're not going to pull a Matt Hardy and just go delete, delete, delete on everything they dislike. For my subscribers and other viewers who've been watching me for a while, don't worry, I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. There's a lot of people who's way ahead of me on this food chain, and they'll be hit first. I'll be able to kind of see and gauge what's happening until all these kinks get worked out. I think that by the time we get on the other side of this event, it won't be as bad as some people predicted it to be, but I imagine some channels will go through a pretty big struggle. I do want to say that there are two things that viewers such as yourself could do to help creators like me. There's an online petition for YouTube to help save family-friendly content and keep it profitable in some way. Also, the FTC is open to taking comments from both creators and viewers alike so that they can get a better idea of this overall situation. I will have links to both of those in my description below, and I do encourage checking both of those out. With all that said though, this does mostly wrap up my thoughts on this situation, at least until December 10th, or some other big piece of information comes out. If you have your own thoughts about this situation, or have any questions that I haven't answered here, feel free to add a comment below. Thank you guys for watching, and if you like this video,
get over here!
And subscribe to Civilian Collectibles.